Hello and welcome to the daily audio experience for the 15th of December 2020. First of all, I apologise for the wind. I'm already very miserable about this episode because I'm basically, my trousers are so muddy and my bike is so muddy, and now my hands are muddy because I had to, and I don't even know if you can hear me because the wind is just quite powerful. But I'm out. I really do apologise for the wind. I'm out here in a field, and again, I do apologise for the wind. I'm going to just ignore it and carry on speaking as if there's no wind at all. And if you can't hear me, you can't hear me. So I'm out here. I mean, this could have been a good episode actually. I thought it had a good idea. But I didn't realise how muddy it is because my legs... Okay, so basically, I came down to this field, which is like a little bit of a distance from my house. So to get there, I go down a cycle path. But the cycle path, since it's been raining a lot recently, was insanely muddy. And, you know, you could go as slow as you want, but still, when you were cycling through it, the mud would jump right up, and so I'm covered. My trousers are covered in it, and so is my bike. The bike's not too bad. I'll just clean it off when I get home with a hose. But the trousers are a bit more of a pain. I mean, they'll just go in the wash. It's fine. But it's put me in a miserable mood because I don't like mud. One time I was camping with the scouts, and the mud was just, I couldn't, it's undescribable how muddy it was. And I was just in such a terrible mood because I just don't like it. I like to just be clean and not have to worry about, and the problem with mud is you clean yourself, but then you go back out and you get muddy again. And that's what drives me crazy. You can never escape from it, but here we are. So, you're probably wondering, why am I in a field? And you can probably hear the running stream. Can you hear that? Probably. So, the reason I'm just trying to work out which way I want to go. Okay, we'll go this way. The reason that I'm in the field is because I'm going to look for mushrooms. And the type of mushrooms that I'm looking for are magic mushrooms, and fields are a great place to find them, and especially after it's been raining. Oh, sorry about the wind. Especially after it's been raining, it's a great time to find mushrooms. They can apparently spring up out of the ground pretty much straight after it's rained, so that's crazy, isn't it? So that's why I'm here, and it is illegal to pick magic mushrooms, and I really don't know how risky it would be to say that I'm going to eat them, but just for, just to be extra cautious, I'm just going to find them, okay? Just finding the mushrooms, and because it's fun to look for them actually, and that's true. It is fun to just walk around and look for them, and I kind of know what I'm looking for now. You can probably hear how squelchy the ground is, just drenched. It's probably too wet for mushrooms to be there, to be honest. I'd imagine they just get drowned. But we're out here today, and I had a few other things for this episode. The other one, I brought my camera. I've got a camera, and I brought it along. I thought it could be fun to take some pictures, because that's something I like to do. So I thought maybe I could bring my camera, take some pictures. I'm not sure if I want to do that now. Just when I get muddy, I'm just in such a miserable mood. I don't want to move at all. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to get my camera out. I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit there. But I have got my camera, and probably, honestly, you should see this. Maybe I should take a picture of this with my camera. I'd take a picture of it with my phone, but when I do that, it stops the audio recording. So I have to just not take it. But I'm just looking at an area here, just drenched, and I don't think it's normally a pond, but there's a pond right here. I'm pretty sure it wasn't here last time I came. It's very big. Well, I won't take a picture of it now because I'm too muddy to want to. Luckily though, I did bring my boots, so it's not my nice trainers getting muddy. My nice £7 Tesco trainers. I'm wearing my boots, so I don't bother about getting them muddy. So I did come prepared actually, but I didn't realise it'd be this bad. You should see how wet it is. It's like a swamp basically. The other thing I thought I could do is, I found this thing online called, well, it was 50 life advices by an 80-year-old. I thought that could be a good thing to read through and review. But before we get into that, just a few other things I wanted to say. I think last episode was pretty good, and just thought that should be noted because I'd like to do more like that, talking to random people on Discord. I think that's a good concept. And I'm a bit nervous about doing that at the moment, but if I get more confident with it could be pretty good. I actually made a Discord server for this show, so maybe I could get some people on the server and then they could just jump in the voice chat when I'm recording an episode and I could talk to them. So I can make like a little community that way. And I did try and promote this show on Reddit and Discord, but didn't really have much success. I think 2 people viewed my episode, but other than that, not really any interest. But that's okay. Not really sure how to promote it. The obvious way I think would be to put it on iTunes, but I can't do that. And also, apparently every good podcast is uploaded onto this website called RSS or something like that, which is like a podcast hosting site. So actually I tried to do it. Don't even know what it was. I just tried to do it because apparently that's what everyone does. So I went on and I started sorting out putting my show on there, then putting an episode on there, but then you have to pay for it. You can't carry on. So I tried to find a podcast hosting website that you don't have to pay for, and there literally isn't any. You have to pay for them all. Ridiculous. But I don't even know what I'm missing out on. I don't even know what the point of them is. I just wanted to log in because that's what it says to do, to promote your podcast. So for now, I guess I'll just keep it on YouTube. We'll see what happens from there. But I'm really not sure how to promote it. So I'll tell you a bit about where I am actually. So it's a field area, but it's right next to the coast. That's why it's so windy. Right now I'm going to walk right up to the sort of like a cliff edge, and then down below it's the beach, and then it's the water. I'm just going to walk over and we'll have a look at that view. Maybe I should set my camera up. But when I say set it up, put it together and put it around my neck. Then we can get some good pictures as we walk around. And then maybe we'll look at the 50 life advices from the 80-year-old. Okay. Right. We'll walk over here and we'll see if we can find somewhere to sit down so I can put my camera together. Because I like to bring it in separate parts. There's a bench over there, I might sit on it and use that. And there's something interesting I see in the trees over there. It looks like a kite or a balloon. We can go and investigate that in a minute. Some sort of kite or balloon stuck in the trees. Looks like a butterfly kite, maybe, or butterfly balloon. Let's have a look at the 50 life advices whilst we walk around. So let me just get on my phone and let's jump on over. Okay, the first life advice by the 80-year-old. Hang on a sec. I might have to go quiet. Okay. I'm on the front now. And I'm taking a seat on the bench. I'm not sure where to put my phone. I'll put it here. Hopefully you can still hear me from there. Right, now I'm going to put my camera together, so I've opened my bag. And I've got to get the... Well, I'll just do this quickly. You'll hear a lot of noise, but I'll be quick. Okay, I've got the camera out. I'm going to take it out of the packaging. Now I'm going to put it around my neck. Now I'm going to get the lens out of my bag. And I've got it out my bag now. And now I'm going to take out the packaging. And now I'm going to attach the lens to the camera. Okay, that's attached. Now I'm going to put the lens cap in my bag. And I've zipped my bag up. Forgot to put my coat in it, one sec. Okay, that's sorted out. Camera's around my neck. I already know what this episode's going to be like, because it's going to be like yesterday's, where it was just stressful. Yesterday I was cooking food, I was trying to record the audio, it was all stressful, and now I've got a camera around my neck, I've got my phone in my hand recording the audio, I'm walking through squelchy mud, trying to look for mushrooms, reading the life advice from the 80-year-old. I know this is going to be stressful, but I don't know which way to go now. It's muddy everywhere I look. We'll go this way, and we'll head towards the fields, the main fields that I want to look at for the mushrooms. And remember, we're not going to pick them, we're just going to find them. We're not going that way. Way too muddy. If I'd put my foot down in that properly, it would have been up to my ankle. That's crazy. And it's all like just water everywhere, that's the problem really. Okay, I've got to be quiet for one sec. Okay. Apologies for going quiet. But I just don't like talking when someone's close. Ooh. This is horrendous. You wouldn't believe how muddy it is. This is actually horrendous. Okay. Oh my god. I might take a picture of this. I don't know. I just want to go home, to be honest. I'm walking back. Not back home, I'm just walking out of this giant puddle. Oh my god. That is horrendous. It's horrendous. Absolutely horrendous, whichever way you look. I might go down onto the beach. But I've got to look for the mushrooms for a little bit. Let's have one more try. There's this direction this way which has a gate. If you go round the gate, there's a big muddy puddle. That's what I tried to just get through before. But I might try and climb over it. It's gonna... Whew, what a stressful episode. I think in future I need to be a bit less ambitious because I've got lots of things going on. But yeah, the first life advice from that 80-year-old was to have a firm handshake. Now, what I'll do is when we're reading through these life advices, I'll talk about... Okay, before I talk about anything, I'm going to try and get over this gate. So, okay. No, this is ridiculous. I'm going back. That was ridiculous. And it's just ridiculous. Covered in mud. I just think it's ridiculous. All I want to do is film an episode. Okay, what I'm going to do is walk back over. I've walked in a triangle for about 3 rotations now. But I'm going to walk back over to the coast, to where the coast is, and take a picture of that. Because I got to get a picture for the thumbnail of this episode. So I just want to take a few pictures and then I'll just pick the best one. But maybe this will be a good one. Take a nice picture of the coast. And I know already the audio is going to sound so bad. See if you can even hear me. Because the wind is blowing into the mic, isn't it? I don't listen back to the recordings of these episodes, so you got to let me know what you know, everything, because I don't know anything. Okay, I'm on the coast. Turn my camera on. Let's take a nice picture. Oops. Okay. Talking, it's a bit dark. The picture. You can always edit it after. Yeah, it's very dark. It's because it's looking right into the sun. Is there anything I could do about that? If I knew what I was doing, I'd mess around with the settings on the camera, but I don't know what I'm doing. So that probably won't be the thumbnail of the video. Let's take another picture of that gate that I was trying to... Oh, let's go right over to the gate and take a picture of it. Take a picture of the mud so you've got an idea of what it looked like. That's if it makes it into the thumbnail. If it doesn't, you won't know what it looked like. So we're heading over to the gate. And just in case it doesn't end up in the thumbnail, I'll describe it. So there's a gate. On the right hand side, there's a puddle. and the entrance, the entrance and exit to the gate. On the left hand side it's lots of mud and stuff like that. Just going to take a few pictures of it because I've got to put the title of the episode somewhere on the screen as well, so I've got to frame it right. Let's take one on this angle. That's quite good, but it doesn't show the mud. Did it show the mud? Not really. Let's take a couple steps back. Let's have a look at that. That's quite good, but it doesn't show quite how bad it is. Well, you can use your imagination. So there we go. Got one picture. Well, I got a few there, but one good one. The sun's coming out, which is nice, but it's not going to help the mud. The mud is everywhere. So yeah, where were we? So advice number 1 from the 80-year-old man was have a firm handshake. Now, do I have a firm handshake? I think I do have a roughly firm handshake. Not as firm as some other people that I've seen, but I think I do a good job. I don't make it too firm. I like to think, but maybe I should be firmer. So rule number 1 is have a firm handshake. I can definitely implement that rule into my life, and I agree with it too. I think having a firm handshake is a good idea. I'm going to take another picture now. It's of my shadow. Could be a good thumbnail, but could be good because I like the idea that I'm a bit of an anonymous figure, a bit of a mystery. So maybe if you just saw my shadow, that'd be good. I forgot to turn the camera on. As a potential thumbnail. Well, it doesn't actually look like a person, the shadow. I shouldn't really be telling you these are all potential thumbnails because you're going to feel like you've missed out when I don't put them in. So you can only choose one. But it's maybe what I'll do is, well, no, I'll just put one in. I was thinking maybe I'd make a folder in the description which you can click on, and then you can see the other pictures I took. But I think we'll stick with just the one in the thumbnail. So let's see what life advice number 2 is. Oh dear. Rule number 2 is look people in the eye, which is one that I'm not very good at. I don't like to look people in the eye, really. It's quite a complex, I could talk for a long time about that. But at the end of the day, I don't like it. So I'm not very good at that one, but I do agree with the advice. I think it is good to look people in the eye. I'm just not very good at it at the moment. But perhaps that can be something. Well, first of all, see, that firm handshake one is not really applicable at the moment with the virus. So far I'll try and implement the eye contact one. At the end of this I'll choose one of the things to implement, and then I'll try and implement it. But I'll just choose one. Some of them I will have already achieved, I think. But one at a time. I'm going to now take a nice picture of... it's actually going to be a really nice picture if this turns out alright, but I'm looking out and I can see houses on the hill in the distance. This could be a good picture. Forgot to turn the camera on again. Okay. Let's zoom in. Let's do a bit of zooming in. Right, got quite a few there. Could be some nice pictures there. And could possibly be the thumbnail. Who knows? You'll have to wait and see. Oh, if it was going to be the thumbnail. Yeah, that could be the thumbnail. Okay. Let's look at rule number 3. Sorry, life advice number 3. Sing in the shower. Rule number 3, sing in the shower. I don't know why that is. I guess its point is like, be merry, be happy. But there are other ways to be happy than singing in the shower, isn't there? So I appreciate his input, but he can't just tell me what he likes to do, what makes him happy. You know, it's just not fair. But I like the first two. That one, not so much. I mean, possibly, and I'm not going to try and implement it. I'm not going to start singing in my shower. Unless I live alone. Which I've been thinking a lot about. I'd quite like to be an independent. I mean, at the moment I live with my parents, which is fine, I'm only at 18. But, you know, I would like to live on my own. I feel like there's a lot of different things I would do. So, possibly when I live on my own, I'll try and implement that rule. But for now, no. I'm not singing in the shower. Oh, the sun is really coming out nicely now. But it really doesn't make any difference to the ground. Just makes it look a bit prettier. And hopefully no one's stolen my bike yet. I've got it chained up at the top of the path towards this field. But no one's going to take it, especially the amount of mud on it. Let's look at life advice number 4. Own a great stereo system. I think I don't like that one either, because it seems like something he enjoys, listening to music. I enjoy listening to music. I mean, I do actually like that advice. I would appreciate a great stereo system. But why is he trying to force that upon me? It's a bit unfair. So maybe that's not a good life advice in general. But at the end of the day, everyone likes music, don't they? So maybe it is a good one. I always sound out of breath when I'm recording these, but I kind of am for some reason. It's like, I can't explain it, but it's like, that's how I feel. It's that sort of feeling. It must sound annoying, but I can't help it. It's not that like I'm actually out of breath. I'm like, I just keep speaking and then I can't, you know what I mean? It's like, that sort of feeling. That's how I feel right now. It's almost like as if I was nervous, but I'm not nervous. It's like as if, yeah, it is like that. Like when you're nervous and then you can't kind of get your words out. Yeah. But I'm not nervous. It's kind of like, I just don't know how to explain it. It makes me, and I have to do that as well. It makes me do all sorts of things. And let's look at the next life advice. Ooh, this is a good one. If in a fight, hit hard. Sorry, let me read it again. If in a fight, hit first and hit hard. That's a good one. I like that one. Interesting though. It's a controversial one. Possibly. I consider myself a little bit of a pacifist. I try and be a pacifist, but at the end of the day, I'm far from it. But in my soul, I'm a pacifist. So hit first. What was it again? Hit first and hit hard. Hit first. Then again, I do see what he's saying. I get the point. possibly, the thing is that I've never really been in a fight, so I can't really implement that one either. But I guess next time I'm in a fight, I'll hit first and I'll hit hard. I do see what he's saying. Now I'm nearly out of this field that I was in, and I'm about to head on to the path. It's kind of back the way I came, but I'll take a different route. Oh, you wouldn't believe how muddy. Here's a nice picture. Right, this is a good one. This picture is going to have both my shadow and a gate. A gate that looks quite similar to the last one. Turn my camera on. One picture. Let's take another one. That's quite a good one, I like it. Maybe a bit higher. That's quite a nice picture. You can see my shadow and a gate. It's a bit cluttered, but possibly we'll make it into the thumbnail. And I've stood here for about 20 seconds and my feet were sinking in the ground. So let's squeeze through across the grass. And whilst we do that, let's look at the next rule. Keep secrets, number 6. That's an interesting one, isn't it? I like these advices because they're quite, I don't know how to explain them, but they make you go, Like they kind of seem a bit extreme. Not extreme, but they're bold. They're bold statements. Keep secrets. Before I discuss that, I've got to make a decision. Do I want to go left or do I want to go right? Right looks insanely muddy, but it would be where I'd get the mushrooms from. Not that I'm going to pick them, of course. And left would be just like a nice walk. Let me have a nice... I'm just going to take a left real quick, just to have a look how muddy it is. It's actually private property, so I would be trespassing, but I've done it before. It's a nice walk. It does look a bit muddy. Yeah, that won't be fun. I mean, neither way will be fun. This is just depressing, to be honest. But you got to give me some credit. I've done, is it 5 episodes now in a row with actual content in them, not just me recording nothing. This will be 5 hours of content. I'm pretty happy with it so far, how the show is going. I think I've already seen an evolution just over 5 episodes. I think I'm starting to understand a little bit more about what I want to do with it. And I plan on keeping this going for ages, really. And really, I want this to evolve, to be something that evolves naturally and into something new and fresh. At the moment it's a little bit different to your typical podcast or something like that. But at the end of the day, it's the same sort of thing, just someone talking. And it's even more boring than most of the podcasts because I don't know how to make it interesting, really. But at the moment, it is a little bit unique, I think, because it's very much like, how do I explain it? Like almost spontaneous. There's one a day. There's one for every hour. There's no cuts in it, so you kind of never know what was going to happen. Last episode, I had to cook my lunch. I didn't even plan for that, so you had to listen to me cook my lunch. And on the first episode, I had to go to my college, and you heard me welding. Stuff like that. So I think that makes it a bit unique. The fact that even I can be taken off guard by what will happen. I quite like that. But I want this to continue to evolve naturally. I'm not going to force it. But I want it to continue to evolve. I'm going to do one every day, one for every day for an hour. Eventually, this has got to evolve into something new and fresh and unique. And I want it to revolutionise the podcast genre. I want it to reinvent it. That's my aim. And I know before I've said that this podcast had humble aims, but I guess that's not so humble, is it? But I really want to, surely, if I do it for one day, every day, if I do it for one day, what? If I do one a day, for an hour, that's so much of my time, of just me rambling. Eventually, surely, out of all the experimentation I'm going to do, surely, eventually, this will evolve into something unique and special, and hopefully revolutionary. I've got some ideas of how the direction I want to take it, but like I said, I want it to evolve a bit more naturally than that. So we'll see where it goes. Tomorrow, it's going to be a Tuesday for me, and I've got a feeling I won't record me speaking for that. I don't think I'm going to go out the house tomorrow. Well, I am going to go out the house. I'm going to go, possibly I will record something. I'm going to go out the house tomorrow to collect my library books. Just spotted a mushroom. But it's not the type of mushroom I'm looking for. Let's whip a picture of it just in case we don't see another one. Let's go. I'm going to have to crouch down, which is a horrible thought, but how miserable. I can't even find it. There it is. It's a terrible picture. But I didn't really want to. Normally I would squat right down and get in a cool position. But nobody wants to do that in this weather. Okay, my hand's getting pretty cold, so I'm going to swap hands. So as I was saying, tomorrow I'll be collecting my library books from the library, which is something I mentioned earlier on. Now I'm going to be quiet now, because I think someone's close. Oh, I see. Okay, they've passed me. Phew. They didn't hear me speaking. Okay, so where was I? Tomorrow I'm collecting my library books. So I thought maybe I could record the journey down there as in the cycle. I could record the cycle and you could just hear me cycling for the first section. And then I could collect the books. And then I could cycle off somewhere and read the books. But do you know what? It made me think, if I was to cycle down and you would record me getting the books from the library, you would hear me talking to the librarian, because it's like an order and collect system. And got me wondering, in the first episode I recorded my college, but what is the morals here? Am I just going to go around recording people without them knowing? Recording audio without them knowing? Don't think there's anything illegal about it if it's in public property, but I'm going to feel none of them are going to find out, but it does feel a little bit immoral. But then again, it'll be good content, so possibly I will record that tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. Sorry about the wind. I'll have to wait and see. But if not, it might be a bit of a boring day tomorrow for the show. I'm just continuing to walk through endless mud. And whilst we do that, let's have a look at the next life advice. The next one is... we forgot to finish talking about the one, number 6, which was keep secrets. Keep secrets. I used to keep secrets. Well, not secrets, but I used to keep a fair amount of things close to my chest. I guess they were secrets, some of them. But nowadays, I'll pretty much say anything. Like, there's not much that I'm not honest about anymore, or that I don't share. Well, there's a lot I don't share, but there's not much I wouldn't share. And that's just happened over time, really. I kind of like it being that way, but I see the point of this life advice, keep secrets. I kind of see the point. You can't let everyone know everything about you, otherwise there's nothing left to learn, and there's nothing interesting left. They know everything. So possibly that's what he's referring to with that life advice. And if it is, I kind of see what he's saying. But at the same time, I like to be open and let people know whatever they want to know about me. But possibly, I think that is an interesting one. Keep secrets. Maybe I should keep more secrets. But I would feel a bit guilty. Interesting one anyway. We'll have a think about it. It's such a horrible audio, isn't it? You can hear the stream, you can hear the wind. Okay, I'm gonna take a left. This hasn't gone how I planned. This episode you would have heard me looking through the fields for all the mushrooms and looking, you know. But that's what's great about this show. Nothing goes as planned so far. So next, a life advice. Never give up in anybody. Miracles happen every day. Interesting one. Never give up in anybody. Now, I wonder what makes him say this. Because I used to feel this way. That everyone should be given as many... Well, I don't know exactly what he's saying, but here's something about me. I used to think that everyone should be given as many chances as you can give them. Because I feel like everyone's a good person at their core. And everyone has the ability to be good on the outside as well. And if you give them enough chances, I feel like people can prove themselves. And I feel like it's worth it to stick with them. But there was someone who I tried to give a lot of chances to, and it got to a point where I thought, I mean, if I were to continue to have given this person chances, or to not give up in him, as the life advice says, if I was to continue doing that, I'd just be really, really miserable. So I think for now I might disagree with that advice. But perhaps the 80-year-old man knows more about life than I do. But he might never have, well, he's never met the person I'm talking about. So maybe he'd change his opinion. This mud is horrendous here. Probably the worst yet. Okay, nearly out of it though. Well, hardly. Next life advice, I'm quite enjoying this, looking through them. Number 8, always accept an outstretched hand. Which is interesting. I'm being quiet. Because there's bushes either side of me, and I just don't know if anyone could be on the other side. Luckily it's not windy here though. Ooh, you can probably hear the mud loud and clear. But number 8 was always accept an outstretched hand. I don't know if I can agree with this one either. Is he trying to say maybe he's saying them in extreme, like he's being very extreme with his advice, but maybe he just means it a bit more metaphorically. Because if I were to always accept an outstretched hand, I might end up accepting a hand from someone who is going to cause more trouble than good. I mean, that's got to be true, hasn't it? If I were to always accept an outstretched hand, I could get myself into trouble. But maybe the quote is more saying, rather than just accepting any hand, it's more saying accept anyone who is trying to help you. That's probably what it's saying more. And if that's the case, again, I'd still disagree with it, but I kind of see what he's saying a bit more if that was it. But at the same time, I think I normally do accept outstretched hands. Because I just like to accept anything, just to see what happens. So I probably would accept pretty much any outstretched hand. I'm in a new field now. Finally, I've got through the path, I'm in a field. And let's see. I'm walking up to the gate. Now, I've been here before, once before. And I climbed over the gate to look for mushrooms, which was trespassing, I think. But I might do it again, because there was lots of mushrooms in this field. And thing is though, I'm not in a good mood for picking mushrooms. And we've only got about 10 minutes left of the episode. So I might just carry on walking. Just carry on reading these life advices, which is what I'm going to do. I've started walking. But still, I'm in a field now, so I'll look around for mushrooms, but probably won't do a proper search for them. Maybe another episode, when it's a bit drier. The next life advice is number 9. It says, be brave. Even if you're not, pretend to be. No one can tell the difference. I like this one a lot. And I completely agree with it. So this is a quote. Let me tell you a quote now from a film called Secret Life. No, it's called. Oh yeah, it is. It's called Secret Life of Pets 2. I say this quote a lot actually, because it's very applicable to a lot of things. But I just think it's such true. When I saw it in the film, I was just thinking that is so true. The quote is, it's something like, the first step to not being afraid is to act like you're not afraid. Oh, I remember when I saw that in the cinema, I thought that is so true. I am, well, here's the thing, like, with like physical tasks, like as in like physical daredevil sort of things, I'm pretty fearless. Not to brag, but I am. And I think the reason that I have become that is because a lot of the time what will happen is I'll be there with my family or my friends, and let's say there's a cliff next to another cliff, and there's a gap between them which I could jump through, and I'd be like, ooh, or someone would be like, ooh, we should jump across there, and everyone else would be like, no, too dangerous, and then I'd go, and then I want to kind of prove myself, so I'd go, well, that's not so bad, I could jump across there. Now, in the early days, I would have actually thought to myself, I would have been saying that, but thinking to myself, actually, that's a bit dangerous. But I'd do it anyway, just to prove myself. I'd be like, no, that's not dangerous. And I'd jump across, and I'd be fine. And that would actually help. The quote again, first step to not being afraid is act like you're not afraid. The more times I acted like I wasn't afraid jumping across these gaps, well, metaphorically, the more confident I'd become in that aspect. And it's because over time you learn what is dangerous and what is not. But out of breath again, sorry. But as I think that's not just applicable to like confidence and fear and stuff like that. I think you can actually apply that to a lot of things. Just acting like you are something can often train you to become it. So this quote, this number 9, be brave, even if you're not, pretend to be. No one can tell the difference. I love that. One sec. I think someone's coming from behind, so I've got to be quiet. Sorry. Okay, I carry on speaking, but I think there's someone coming from behind. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, I really love that quote because it is true from my own experience. And I also, just as a side note to not being afraid of things, I mean, I'm not the perfect specimen in terms of not being afraid. But I do have a little bit of, like, in terms of physical things, like physical feats, I am completely fearless. So I can talk about this a little bit. Like, I think the thing is, if you're scared of something, you've just got to do it. And then you realise it wasn't that bad after all, so you get more confidence to do it again and again. That's the main advice I'd give you. Just, if you're scared of something, give it a go. Then you do it, and you realise, hang on, wasn't even that bad, what was I worrying about? Then you do it again and again. And I think that can be applied socially as well, but I can't really speak much on that. I'm not exactly a social guru. Okay, let's look at the next line of advice. Number 10, it says whistle. That's it, just whistle. I whistle. By the way, I should stop saying shouldn't I? And like and stuff like that. It's not what a good host says. A good host just speaks without all the... I said didn't I? Said it again. That good host speaks without... I've done it again. Okay. I'm going to keep calling myself out on it every time I do it, because I really want to get good at this. A good host, as I was saying, a good host does not... It's so tempting to say it. I can't think what I want to say yet, so I'm tempted to say to fill the gap. But it's better to just have silence, isn't it? A good host does not say and like and stuff like that. A good host just knows, well, a good host commits to the sentence, I suppose, and is confident with their speech. So that's something I have to practice. I think just in general, if I do this every day, it could just make me a better speaker. So that's good. I feel like I've improved with the speaking, even just over these 5 episodes. In the first episode, I just think I've improved. Like, it's nearly the end of the episode, and if it's flown by, I've got to be quiet now. Someone's coming up the path. See you in a minute. We're through. We've passed him. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, I feel like already I'm able to fill the hour much better than I was at the start, but it's probably because I'm coming a bit more prepared. You know, I've got the, and I should stop saying you know, that's another thing I should stop saying, but I've got the 50 life advices. That's good, you know, just having stuff like that to look through throughout the episode is good, helps to fill it. But as I was saying, hang on, no, it's fine, I'm not sure if someone's coming, but I don't think so. But as I was saying, life advice number 10 was to whistle. I whistle, not all the time, but often when I'm walking I'll whistle. Sometimes I actually have a little sing song to myself whilst I'm walking, but I only do that when I'm on my own, like as in when no one's close. But I do like a good sing song. It's nice to sing. I would sing for you now, but I don't want to sing like songs. But yeah, whistling is a good one. I mean, again though, it sounds just like what he likes to do. It's not really a life advice, is it? It's just like a list of things he likes to do. Whistling, owning a good stereo, singing in the shower. Come on. We don't all get happiness from that. Maybe I should have written my own life advice, that would have been good. Maybe I'll do that for tomorrow. Tomorrow I will, or whenever my next speaking episode is, I'll give you my top 10 life advices. We've done 10 here today. I'll give you my top 10. Possibly, I might do this, might not sure. And also, I want to play Rune Lords Arena again, if you remember from episode 3. That was a game I reviewed. I want to give it a re-review, because they asked me to, if you remember. But you don't remember, no one's watched this show yet, it's just me. It's got let's see, 5 views, but none of them are for more than like 3 seconds, so no one's bothered yet, but eventually. But what I'm saying is there's no point me actually telling you like, oh, if you remember last episode, because you don't, you weren't there. Maybe I should stop addressing this as if someone is listening. But whatever, let's not overthink it. Well, nearly done actually. It's really gone fast this hour. Kind of, yeah, I think it's a testament to how it's improving, how this show is improving already. At the start, just trying to fill that 40 minutes was horrendous, but now this was a walk in the field, which is a nice. That was kind of like a little joke, because it's like a walk in a park. So possibly next episode I'll be getting some books from the library. You can listen to that. I am not staying in this field any longer than when I stop this recording. I want to go home right away and clean my bike and clean everything. But you know what, I think this has been a good one. And I stopped doing the little whistling jingle at the start of the episode, haven't I? Sorry, I stopped. Sorry about that, but I think it's better to probably not have the whistle. I think it's better to just get straight into it. Maybe I'll even get rid of the intro soon, where I say hello, welcome, blah blah. Might get rid of that. Not really needed, is it? I said didn't I? There you go, I've called myself out on it. Do I do this a lot? I think I do. So let's try and stop doing that as well, because you've got to make the audio experience nice and well. Oh gosh, 7 seconds left. Okay, thank you very much for listening, and goodbye.